All right, we're just waiting for one more to get this show on the road. Uno más. Larry.
Oh, it's not going to let me record on Anchor, apparently. I don't know what's going on.
I will back. All right, what's up, everyone? This is the new episode of Sports Harder, coming at you live on this Tuesday evening. As always, I am your host, Matty Lukewarm Ice.
Don't steal my shit.
My co-host, I'll do what I want because I'm the host. My co-host, Chris the Gorilla Binder.
Don't steal my shit. You don't look as good.
And of course, as always, we got L'America here with us as well, helping us out.
Now you're stealing my shit too. Take your dad. You're good with that.
All right.
Well, you gotta have that to be able to flex on me.
What is that? Is that some
That's
mosquito
Shredder, bro.
bites?
That's Shredder.
Well, I'm the Ninja Turtles, baby. Bring it. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Well, we had a couple weeks of hiatus there, but we're back better, ready to rumble in the jungle, ready for a whole new episode, ready to talk about a lot of stuff that's been going on, and a lot of it is going to be NFL action. We are going to be talking about the NFL most of the night. And to start the night, we'll just jump right into it and go over what the NFL announced today.
I don't care about the Pro Bowl. I want to start with one thing. I'm still a Raiders fan, even though all three of their losses are the three teams' only wins. Still a fan. I'm pissed.
We'll definitely get into all of that for sure. We'll cover each of our teams and go into that. I know you don't care about the Pro Bowl, but some people do. The Pro Bowl was announced that
all 18 viewers.
Yeah,
the 18 viewers the Pro Bowl gets every year.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to up the viewership.
I miss the long throw, like where all the quarterbacks were challenged to see who could throw it the farthest and the most accurate. Like this, hit points. Bullshit. You line them up and see how far they can bomb that ball.
Well, who knows? They might be doing different challenges now that they're taking away the actual game itself. They announced that it'll be a flag football game. A lot of suggestions out there about like fans picking plays or like legends playing, bringing back like people that are retired to play in it since it's flag football. I think that'd be kind of cool, see Peyton Manning out there, throwing it around,
Peyton Manning throwing it to Calvin Johnson.
Yeah,
Peyton Manning doesn't throw anything but ducks anymore, man. He does not have the arm power anymore.
Dude. He won a Super Bowl throwing ducks.
He did. No, let's be fair. Von Miller won that game.
Yeah.
The defense,
that dude single-handedly carried that defense.
Yeah.
How many times did he sack Cam Newton?
Yeah, 2 forced fumbles, 2 sack fumbles. That's all that matters.
1 touchdown?
Yeah, that's all. Nothing else matters, dude.
So, yeah, it sounds like you guys would still not be interested in the Pro Bowl even after them making these announcements and these changes. It looks like it'll be in Vegas again, so get ready to have some more police reports out of players getting in trouble being in Vegas.
Henry Ruggs getting out, running his car into a wall, whatever.
Normal stuff. So
it's one of those getting slapped by Raider fans.
That wasn't a Raiders fan. Did you watch that video?
Yeah, you could see the red jersey on.
Yeah. It was a Cardinals fan that slapped Kyler Murray.
I think it was just, let's high five. And then
he was like trying to high five him and ended up smacking him in the face. It's because Kyler Murray's so small.
He had to jump up to high five them all.
Yeah, I was gonna say that 2-point conversion where he was like running around like nonstop. Like someone posted it on Facebook saying Kyler Murray looks like a toddler who just stole his mom's phone.
Oh man,
And I was just
I like that.
yeah, pretty much that's accurate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that.
You
That's
know,
funny.
I watching him play like that, like I have a newfound respect for that dude. Like he is fast as hell. And
Yeah.
he was slipping tackles like none other, dude. Like Max Crosby wrapped him up. Jonathan
few
Hankins
times.
wrapped him up. Chandler Jones wrapped him up. And he still got out of it.
Yeah, the only person he can't escape is Aaron Donald because Aaron Donald got his 100th sack against Kyler Murray in the game this past weekend.
Best way to sack Kyler Murray is just grab his legs.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Aaron Donald like swiped at his legs when he got
that's how he got him. You want to sack the man, hit him on his legs, and that's about the only way you're getting him.
Yep.
Yeah, so I
Bring
mean,
back tripping.
So yeah, Aaron Donald joining the illustrious. I can't say that word very
Illustrious.
well.
You said it right.
Yeah.
Said it right both times.
Group of being in the 100 sack club and continue counting as it goes up. I thought that was pretty cool.
Fastest player in the history, right?
The fastest to do it. Yep, fastest to get to 100.
And the youngest too.
I
think
would
he's the
assume
fastest.
Yeah, I think
so.
he's the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's another funny stat. The only team that has more total touchdowns than Lamar Jackson is the Baltimore Ravens.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's
The only team in the NFL that has more total touchdowns than Lamar Jackson is the Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
How freaking crazy is that?
Yeah.
One person has more total touchdowns than every other team in the league.
No, he's trying to make
they're not even that good this year.
I was gonna say their defense has been looking atrocious. That's for sure. They're just giving up loads and loads of points, and that's why Lamar has so many touchdowns because he's got to keep up with the defense giving up so many touchdowns.
Here's a question I'm going to ponder to you guys: will Lamar Jackson be a Raven next year?
I think they'll pay him. Yeah, they'll give in and they'll give him the money he wants. Because he's like the face of the franchise, so I think he'll get what he wants.
Where does he go if he's not with the Ravens?
Some other team that'll pay him.
Yeah, but I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, who's got that cap space?
A crappy team. A team that is just awful.
The Raiders.
the Raiders.
They cut Derek Carr. They save $110 million.
This is probably Derek Carr's last season in Vegas.
I agree.
So Devontae is going to get an old car.
An old car?
Yeah, because Derek Carr sucks. He's just as good as his brother.
I'm just gonna put David Carr back in there just to get him out of retirement.
I'm reserving my argument for that for when we actually discuss the games.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm taking the shots now.
Well,
I mean, if you look at Russell Wilson, he has 2 total touchdowns.
Oh, we can get into that.
Well,
2.
yeah,
Two.
We'll
Denver's defense looks fucking good, though.
Yeah,
not gonna lie, their defense looks legit.
Well, you guys just let me know we're to that portion, and I'll just take the next hour of your time.
We're well, hopefully not that long, but we're gonna we'll being the host, I get to start with my team. So we're gonna start with the Rams and the Cardinals. So Rams, Cardinals. Rams now. I like talking about division stuff too with my team. So we're 2-1. Everyone else in the division is 1-2. The 49ers lose to the Broncos. The Seahawks lost to the Falcons. And then the Cardinals obviously lost to the Rams in their game. So far, like, everyone was hitting the panic button after week 1 for the Rams. Everyone was like, okay, they're not going to go back. They're terrible, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, just because they got blown out by the Bills. And it's just like, okay, it was one game for 1 week. We got a pick-me-up game playing against the Falcons, which we almost choked away. And then the Cardinals, we kind of just stayed consistent through the whole thing. It wasn't really any spurts of like, oh, man, like highlight reel stuff. But like we stayed consistent. Everyone was throwing Jalen Ramsey under the bus after week 1. Jalen Ramsey came back, gets the winning interception against the Falcons, and then shuts down everyone on the Cardinals. Now, granted, you're not playing against the Stephon Diggs like he was in week 1. I mean, one of the top receivers in the NFL. No DeAndre Hopkins, obviously, against the Cardinals. But I think for him, he mentally needed to bounce back with those 2 games, having the game-winning interception against the Falcons and having such a dominant game against the Cardinals. So that gives me a little bit more hope. But Allen Robinson has been kind of a disappointment for me so far. I thought he would be equivalent to an OBJ, basically, and have that connection with Stafford, but it's not there, and it hasn't happened yet. Who knows? Maybe it'll take more time. But as of right now, I'm kind of worried that connection isn't there like it was with OBJ. I'm kind of thinking, okay, we need to get OBJ back. Like, especially if we're going to make like a push in the playoffs, we need to get him back. We need that solid number 2 again. Because Cooper Kupp is still putting on a show. He's still killing it. But yeah, those are kind of my concerns. The defense is still looking pretty good in my opinion. I think we're pretty solid on defense still. So Bobby Wagner's been playing good. Aaron Donald's doing his thing, and Jalen's doing his thing now. So I think week 1 was kind of just week 1 stuff, and I'm feeling a lot better moving on. Anything that you guys want to point out from the first 3 weeks for the Rams?
They don't look as strong as they did last year.
Yeah,
they still look good. Matthew Stafford looks scared. He's playing scared, and I don't like it. I think he has his crutch of Cooper Kupp, but he always had like that second cushion with OBJ, and he doesn't have that. He doesn't have Robert Woods. Van Jefferson isn't stepping up.
Well, Van Jefferson hasn't played at all yet. Yeah. He's been injured for 3 weeks.
So, like, he doesn't have the cushions that he's used to. And Darrell Henderson's been going off, except for against the Cardinals. Like, he barely played. For the first 2 weeks, dude, Darrell Henderson was tearing it up. So, I mean, they don't look as good as they did last year. They're still a threat. Don't get me wrong. They're still going to be a threat. But, I don't know. They got to get some of that camaraderie back.
Just so you guys know, I'm on my iPad, and so sometimes I just got to lean back because, but anyway, I'm going to just slowly creep in.
Lean back.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, I agree with everything you guys have said. I think the big reason why I think Matthew is playing scared is if you look at last year, he had OBJ, he had Higbee, he had reliable targets that he just, built that foundation with during practice and preseason. Right now, he doesn't have anybody. He has Cooper Kupp, and that could, I think a lot of that is his fault, is he became so dependent on Kupp last season that he's trying to make sure it stays that way this year. But teams are figuring that out, and that's why these games have been so close, is because the same thing what the teams are doing against the 49ers right now. Deebo Samuel, you double Deebo? I mean, up until last week, Kittle hasn't played. Who else do they have on the team? Make everybody else make a play. And that's what's happening to the Rams right now, is who else on that team is going to step up for Matt? And yet alone, can Matt step out of his little zone of just, I got to go to Kupp. I got to go to Kupp. No, you got Van Jefferson, who's coming off of an injury, which he's still a very eccentric player. He's there. He's valuable. And Allen Robinson, he came from having nobody in Chicago, but at least he was getting targets in Chicago. I think he's averaging, 2-3 targets a game right now. And that's just way under his production, and he's not getting the reps that he should be getting or the looks he should be getting. And that's what I think Stafford needs to realize, that he actually has people who can make these plays. And that's going to be the Rams' downfall. Cam Akers, I don't know what happened to him a couple weeks ago. This game, he at least, had 80-something yards on, 12 carries. I think he had a tutty. He looked really good. Yeah, I mean, he looked, Cam of old, which is a huge step in the right direction. But now it's, can Matthew Stafford get out of his own way and realize he's got playmakers to help him out? The defense is strong. You didn't really lose anybody on the defense. It's just going to be, I think the biggest issue is Matthew Stafford with the Rams right now. I don't think anything else is really a problem. I think it is just him alone trying to figure out what he wants to do.
Awesome.
And he's old.
I agree.
He is old, but he doesn't get hit though. So it's like, what are you so worried about, dude? Like, you're not getting hit. Nobody's touching you. Why are you playing this way knowing that he didn't hardly get sacked last year?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you lose Andrew Whitworth, who was like, such a solid offensive lineman for him.
Absolutely. I mean, especially 45 years old, 50,
Yeah.
80 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say
football years, yeah.
Football years, yeah.
As an offensive lineman too, yeah. Dude was 112.
Exactly.
But I think that's the biggest issue with the Rams, honestly. I mean, other than that, I think the Rams are they're still going to be a top team in the NFC, especially that division is so open right now. I mean, there's not really a clear who's going to pull away in that division of who can actually win.
Yeah.
Who knows? Geno Smith might be onto something. I mean, he won a game.
That is true. Alrighty, well, let's move on to the Raiders then, and let Chris start off with his feelings about the first 3 weeks.
Josh McDaniels has to go.
Already after 3 weeks? Dang.
Fuck yeah, dude.
In the offseason.
No, when your coach comes out, flat out fucking says to the media, Derek Carr throws the ball where I tell him to throw it. He doesn't have another option. That's bullshit. Get out. Derek Carr's been in the league. This is his 9th season. The dude knows how to read a defense. He knows how to go through progressions, and Josh McDaniels isn't letting him do it. Like that to me is bullshit. Get out. You're done. Keep Dave Ziegler, because I think Dave Ziegler is a great GM. I really do. But he's got to go. 100%. Or pass off the offense to your offensive coordinator. Let your offensive coordinator actually handle the ball, handle the game. Let Derek Carr cook. Because when watching Derek Carr, he's insanely accurate. Like, the throws that he's throwing are like threading a needle, and he's hitting them. The reason we lost the game to the Titans was we paid Darren Waller, and now he's not playing. He doesn't give a shit. He dropped 2 touchdown passes, one of them for an interception. Like, in his hands, that, I'm sorry, you're paid as the top tight end in the game. Catch that damn pass. Like, Travis Kelce would have caught it. George Kittle would have caught it. Noah Fant would have caught it. Tyler Higbee would have caught it. Like, it's right in his damn hands. Like, yeah, I'm really, really frustrated. I don't think Carr's going to come back. Devontae Adams is frustrated. Derek Carr actually called out he didn't say a name, but he called out Darren Waller. Like, there was an interview where, like, right after the game, he said, if I'm throwing the ball in your hand and you're not catching it, there's a problem. We have camaraderie. We have this connection. We've had this connection for a while. Why are you all of a sudden not catching a ball I'm putting in right in your hands? He straight up called him out. When Mac Hollins has, 8 catches for 151 yards and a touchdown, when the guy's career, he had 300 receiving yards over 3 years. He's already got that with Derek Carr. He's already at 300 yards. Like, Darren Waller needs to show up. Josh McDaniels needs to rely on Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is averaging 6.7 yards a carry this year, but he's not handing the ball to him. It's like, let's just throw the ball. Let's throw a shitty ball. Like, the last Hunter Renfrow fumble in the Arizona game where he got the concussion off the hit from Isaiah Simmons. If you watch, the camera behind actually shows a field view, right? There was 3 people covering Hunter Renfrow, 1 person covering Darren Waller on a short out, and Mac Hollins wide open in the center of the field, 30 yards down. It would have been a touchdown, game over. But Derek Carr has to throw it where Josh McDaniels is telling him to. And I think the Broncos have the same issue right now with Nathaniel Hackett. The coaching sucks. The defense held Tennessee to 0 points in the second half. They held Arizona to 3 points in the first half. They held the Chargers to 25 points. Like, the defense is actually stepping up.
Like 10, so.
But if your defense is holding a team to 24 points and you have this massive explosive offense, if your defense is holding them to 24 points, you should win that game every fucking time. Every time. Like, your defense stepped up for you. Call the right plays and play the damn game. Let Derek Carr cook. Let's see what the guy really can do, because we've seen it once, ever. And that was in 2016.
A Super Bowl year.
It was the year we went to the playoffs. And he broke his ankle.
I will always call that year Derek Carr's Super Bowl year. And
if he hadn't got hurt, probably would have gone.
Jack Del Rio should have pulled him up 48-0, and you let your quarterback play. Like, yeah.
That I loved Jack Del Rio for that fact right there. Jack Del Rio never went conservative. He was like, step on their throats. I don't care. Run the score up.
Mm-hmm.
These coaches now, oh, hey, we got a 20-point lead. Let's play conservative and 3 and out for the entire second half. Bullshit. Sorry, rant. I'm really, really frustrated with it. We're the only 0-3 team in the league. And the AFC West was supposed to be AFC West on paper. What is supposed to be the most dominant division in the NFL. And we had 3 teams lose to AFC North teams. We shouldn't have lost to the fucking Steelers, Colts, and
the Jaguars.
Titans. The Titans.
The Jaguars.
Yeah, it was the Jaguars. Yeah, Jaguars, Colts, and the Titans. The AFC West should have won all 3 of those games. Hands down. When the Chiefs lose to the Colts, like, what the hell?
Well, the Chiefs lost to the Colts because
team won.
Their backup kicker couldn't make an extra point and 2 field goals. He missed 2 field goals and an extra point. So the Chiefs' backup kicker is what lost the game for them. If their backup kicker could have made a field goal, then they would have won. But yeah,
no.
I mean,
the Colts suck. The Colts tied the Texans and lost to was it the Jaguars they lost to?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Colts suck. The Chiefs should have blown them out of the water. That is 100% on the defense. Like, why the hell are you letting the Colts score that much? They're not that good.
They're not last season, that's for sure.
No. Carson Wentz is better than Matt Ryan. I'm saying it.
At least as of right now.
Matt Ryan doesn't know how to lead a team. The leader of the Falcons was Julio Jones.
The only difference between the two is Matt Ryan went to a Super Bowl. It's the only difference
because of Julio Jones.
Either way, he was. That's the only argument that could be made for the one thing Matt Ryan has over Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz has a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, thank God for backup quarterbacks. And Nick Foles, baby. Yeah, I root for that dude
but
every year.
Carson Wentz was leading the Eagles damn good that year. I think they went 12-5, right? 12, no, that year it was 12-4 because they only had 16.
Yeah,
it was 12-4.
He got hurt, I think, with 3 games left in the season, maybe 4 games left. But I know he played about 80% of the season before Foles took over.
And he was playing damn good.
He's playing really good. He could have been MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was on track to win MVP that year until he got injured.
So was Derek Carr in 2016.
Yep.
So Derek Carr isn't a bad quarterback. Derek Carr is not top 10. Derek Carr is not a top 10 quarterback, but he's definitely a top 15.
Derek Carr is a good quarterback.
He's a good game manager.
He's not great. He's not elite. He'll never be either one, but he is a good quarterback.
And he is a good game manager.
Yeah. I don't know. The Raiders, I feel like the biggest issues that the Raiders are having is a lot of you just went and spent all this money on a wide receiver. Arguably the best receiver in the NFL. Devontae Adams, other than Cooper Kupp's one season last year.
Devontae Adams has done it his whole career. Come on now.
That's the thing. I mean, Devontae Adams is a top 3 every year, if not one. Yeah. I mean, him and Mike Evans are Mike Evans just got no love because of Jameis Winston. That's the only reason why he got no love. But at the end of the day, I mean, you went and spent all this money on this tight end who's top 3, top 4, top 5 tight end every year. You spent all this money on this wide receiver, and Devontae Adams, which so far was the worst trade in fantasy football I have made in my entire life, was trading away Cooper Kupp for Devontae Adams and Alvin Kamara, and neither one of them have done shit. Yet the guy I traded them to, I obliterated last week. So it all kind of worked out in my favor. But this guy's averaging 3 catches a game, and he's got 1 touchdown so far this season?
No, he's got 3. He has scored a touchdown in every game.
He's only averaging 30 yards a game. It's just crazy to me. And I didn't hear the whole McDaniels thing, but McDaniels is not a good coach. He did the same thing when he came to Denver. He traded away Jay Cutler, or we had Kyle Orton. He decided that he didn't like it. We're going to play Tim Tebow. We're going to get rid of Orton, and we're going to put in Tim Tebow. Denver didn't do shit. They didn't. And honestly, McDaniels ruined the Broncos until he was gone and Peyton Manning came in. And, the Peyton Manning era for 4 years was awesome. We won games, Ducks and all, which was cool.
To be fair, he didn't throw ducks till his last season.
But McDaniels is just not the guy to do it. Derek Carr, I don't think he is as great as everybody says he is. My biggest issue with the Raiders personally is coming into the season, I figured the Raiders had enough pieces to be a top 5, top 7 defense this year. The first 3 games, the Raiders have shown that they are a top 5, top 10 defense right now. The offense is just, boom, just dog shit. Just super horrible, not as high powered as they could be with all the receivers, especially with you got Renfro out there, you got Jacobs running the ball, you got Devontae Adams, you got Darren Waller, and Derek Carr who can scramble and make plays. Yet you're losing games to teams. Should you beat the Titans according to this season? Sure, but it just was bad mistakes. The Cardinals game, that game should never went to overtime, regardless of if the Raiders had the lead or not. That ball was not caught. That ball hit the ground. I think it was AJ Green who caught the touchdown pass. That ball hit the ground. That's game.
Yeah.
That ball hit the ground. The Raiders won, and obviously the score says otherwise.
Or the bullshit defensive holding penalty where he just touched his shoulder. Yes. Come on.
The Raiders are getting cheated out of some games. There's been some plays, which happens every year, happens in every game, every week, but.
Every team has a red sheet out.
It's right now. It is the Raiders' offense that is causing problems, and it's not because of the offense. It's the coaching. The coaching is the biggest issue in Las Vegas right now, and I think Derek Carr. If you guys honestly, I was telling my buddy who's a huge Raider fan, this is a must-win for the Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders this week. If they go 0-4, your season's gone. You're 0-2 in the division. You're 0-4 in the league. You can't come back from that. San Diego's going to probably it depends on how their injuries affect them, but Kansas City's going to be a top team. They are. That's just who they are. But this is a must-win for the Raiders, and I think if the Raiders start 0-5, McDaniels is fired. He's going back to New England as an OC. And then you guys should hire John Gruden.
No, hell no.
And bring back Khalil Mack. Figure something out. I don't know. No, but that's, to me, the biggest issue with the Raiders right now is it's not about them. They're not having trouble scoring. They're not having trouble stopping defense. It's as soon as they get the lead, the coaching changes. Your whole strategy changes. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why you just went up 28-3 on Arizona and then you just went dog shit.
Because they went conservative as fuck. That's what irritates me. So just throwing this out here really quick. Just throwing this out here. There's been 0 teams that have gone 0-5 and made the playoffs. There's been 1 team ever to go 0-4 and make the playoffs. And that was the 1992 San Diego Chargers. If
nice.
0-3, you have about 2% chance to make it.
The Dan Fouts?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
I don't know.
Let's move on to the Broncos then, so that way we can get into our top 5, bottom 5.
No, it was Stan Humphries. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
John Freese into Stan Humphries.
Fouts was, I think, mid-90s. But no, Denver, I feel, is this. I don't think it's, you got to throw to these people. Russell Wilson played for 10 years where 95% of his plays were out of the shotgun formation. 95%, and I don't know if that's true or not, just assuming because he always played out of the shotgun with Seattle. He was able to, you got Nathaniel Hackett comes in and he says, we're going to put you under center a lot more, like we did with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers and Russell have a lot of the same playmaking ability. They play the kind of the same style of quarterback, where we can beat you on our feet, we can beat you through the air. The problem is Russ had no preseason. You throw him in the first game. Denver has 13 penalties for 102 yards against the Seahawks. Seattle did not beat Denver. Sure, the score says they did, but Denver beat Denver. Second game, we pull out a win against the shitty backup quarterback in Houston. 12 penalties, 105 yards. First 2 games of the season, we had 25 penalties for 210 yards.
Isn't that a record?
Games. Yeah. It's a franchise record too. Like it's amazing.
I think it's an NFL record.
It is, yeah. No, it's a record all across the board. And the game against the Niners, I've always said if Jimmy G's got to throw the ball 25 times or more, he'll screw up. His 25th throw in that game was an interception. Really, and then it really just proved my point.
Wasn't that the Surtain or whatever?
No, that was to the.
I thought it was to Patrick Surtain.
Was it? I don't know. I don't know if it was. I can't remember. All I know is that was, as a football fan, and I love defense. Offense is cool. 50-point games is awesome. But defensive outings is just, I love it. And the special teams, the punting, bring that shit in. Coffin corner punt, the skill shit in the Pro Bowl, I'm all for it. Our kicker played for the Raiders last season. Our punter punted the ball 4 times last year. That was it. Then I think he got, I don't remember what happened. This season, and just this last game, he punted the ball 10 times, which is the most times he's punted the ball in his entire career. And not just in one game, but Nathaniel Hackett can't hack it. It's just plain and simple. He's not a good coach. He doesn't know what he's doing. When Russell Wilson led the team down to score on that touchdown, he called the audible, that back shoulder fade to Cortland. He audibled that play. I think that drive, as he said, he told his coach, I'm taking over. This is my game. This is my team. And look what Russ did. Was scrambling in the pocket, made 11-yard third and 11 scramble for the first down. Was doing a fall down chest pass. I mean, he just was Russell Wilson of old. He delivered a perfect back shoulder to Cortland on the sideline. He looked phenomenal on that one drive. The entire season, that is the best drive he has had. We're not playing great teams. We played Seattle. We played Houston. We played who knows what's going to happen with the 49ers game. As of right now, I'm not sold on Nathaniel Hackett. Russell Wilson, I think if he had his say in it, Denver would be a nasty, nasty squad. But again, it's 3 games in. next week is going to be a huge game, mainly because you don't know what the Raiders are going to show up. We have no idea. You look at the 3 games of the Raiders, you don't know what's happening.
I'm going to tell you exactly what will happen in the Raiders and Broncos game. The first half, the Raiders are going to go off. It's going to be like 24-3 in the first half. Dead serious. Patrick Surtain cannot guard Devontae Adams. It's going to be 24-3 Raiders. No, it's going to be 24-3 Raiders
in the first half.
And then the Raiders will go conservative, and the Broncos will win the game.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The Raiders are going to score maybe 24 points through 4 quarters, but not in the first half.
They did it against Arizona in the first half.
That's fine. Arizona ain't got the defense Denver has. And
they actually have a pretty good defense.
I will say this about the Denver defense. They have yet to play a high-powered offense, so we don't know how good that defense actually is.
If Darren Waller shows up,
what about George Kittle?
Adams shows up,
Deebo Samuel.
No, I'm saying if they actually show up and play the fucking game, they'll be good.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is getting them to actually fucking show up. Sorry.
But what happened with Deebo Samuel? George Kittle. The 2 best players, offensive players on the 49ers, Deebo had 5 catches for like 37 yards and ran the ball for 12. George Kittle had 38 yards on 4 catches. That's it. These are top-tier players in the NFL. Didn't do nothing against Denver's defense. I'm just saying it's going to be a great game, and it is a must-win for the Raiders. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think Russell Wilson throws at least 1 touchdown, dude. He's going to have 3 on the year after this game. Guarantee it. You'll have 3 touchdowns. Is
KJ Hamler coming back this week?
I hope so. No, he played last week against the Niners.
Yeah, but didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, I think he's game. I think he's
questionable. Yeah,
I think he's being game managed because of the ACL last year. So I think because he's only came in at all 3 games, he's only played a few snaps. He's only played about 30%, 40% of the snaps, all 3 games. But the Raiders game this week is going to be huge because it's a divisional game. They're always good. Can the Raiders offense figure out if the Broncos stick to the run game and actually let Javonte eat? Because Javonte I don't give a shit. He will be a great running back. I think his second season in, he's already proven that he is pretty damn good. But right now, the biggest issues with Denver is their quarterback. Russell Wilson, he's throwing the ball well, but he had 180 games against the Niners, or 180 yards against the Niners, and that was it. You've thrown 2 touchdowns the entire season. $235 million for what? He's putting up Drew Lock stats right now.
Yeah, I think Drew Lock was better.
He might have 4 right now. Let's be honest. I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to the coaching. Is Nathaniel Hackett is trying to change the way Russell's played for 10 years, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, he did it with Rodgers. He did this with Rodgers." Yeah, but Rodgers had one person to throw the ball to. It's not hard to coach somebody when it said, "Hey, just drop back and throw it to Devontae. You're good." Denver has so many other weapons they can go to. I mean, they can't all catch the ball. If you watch Jerry Jeudy, that dude could be I think Jeudy is the best route runner in the NFL, and that's all he's got. He does not have the hands. He does not have. I mean, he can't catch a football to save his life. He needs to be. What is that? You know the movie The Replacements where they put Stickum on the dude, and that's what they need to do to Jerry Jeudy. Get that boy some Stickum.
Still drop it.
Yeah, get that man some Stickum, and let's see what happens. But
did you see him and Shannon Sharp are having a Twitter battle?
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious.
Shannon Sharp hits up Jeudy and says, "Hey, how can you call yourself a wide receiver if you can't even catch a pass?" Jerry Jeudy comes back and goes, "Why do you do all that talking when your breath smells like your ass?"
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. And then they deleted the tweets.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm a huge fan of my whole thing. I've never heard anybody else say it yet. So just so you guys know, it's been coined by me that Hackett can't hack it.
I've seen it.
Oh, well, maybe I should get on social media more.
No, it's just in that AFC West trash talk. All the Broncos fans are saying that.
I'm not on Facebook very often. so I don't.
I do nothing but talk shit in that group.
I hardly ever get on Facebook. If I do, I just watch the videos, and that's about it. But yeah, I don't know. The NFL. Me and Matt were talking about the game on Sunday, and there has been no consistency this season at all.
By
The
any
teams
team.
that you thought the teams that were supposed to win have not. And let's be honest, the Jaguars destroyed. I don't give a shit if Herbert's hurt or not. You decided to play him, and that dude couldn't do anything. That boy looked like ass. That Jaguars team is not that good. Could they be
Are
good?
they?
Sure, why not? Shit, they could. I don't know. Shit, who
They're
comes up
showing
with a
it,
playoff
dude.
team? I don't know, dude.
They're
By the way,
leading their
this season's
division.
going- By the way this season's going, they're going to the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know.
They've already
gonna make a
won more
comeback.
games than they have in the past 2 years combined.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks.
But Trevor Lawrence is having a breakout year, and they, give it to the dude. He looks good, but like, I don't know what's happening to football this year. And I know it's only 3 weeks in, but let's be like, the Chiefs lost to the Colts. The Jags the Chargers got worked. They got worked. But
The Lions embarrassed the Vikings. I'm sorry,
Yes.
The Vikings won. The Vikings won, but by the skin of their fucking teeth. Like they
shouldn't
barely won that game. The Lions
shouldn't have.
embarrassed the Vikings.
Yes. There's been
Like what? The Giants are 2-1. Like almost
Yeah.
beat the Cowboys.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Bills should have won their game. Bad coaching at the end of the game. That's all it was. It's just bad coaching. Bad
Did you
clock
see
management.
how much the offensive coordinator up in the booth, he was like, like freaking like a toddler, and then you see like one of the assistants or someone just like go like over the camera. They're like, nope,
No,
don't want to show that anymore.
It was bad news, man. Like it's been a crazy year in the NFL. Like
it's only 3 weeks in.
It's 3 weeks
and
in.
it's been crazy, dude.
So we got to decide now with 3
Tua
weeks in.
Tagovailoa has the most passing yards in the NFL. Carson Wentz, Joe Flacco are the other two top 3 people. Tua, Carson,
it's
and Joe Flacco.
No, who's the other guy behind? No, it's Tua and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jalen Hurts is second. Like
Hey,
Jalen Hurts is putting up MVP numbers. Like what the
Give
fuck? He's
give
not.
that dude a ring, dude.
Last year they said he wasn't even ready for the NFL.
Yeah.
You give him AJ Brown, and now look at him.
No, he's hitting Devonta Smith, dude. Like Devonta
Yo.
Smith is having like an amazing year.
Like Matt just said, though, you brought in AJ Brown, and who do you cover? That's the thing that's making Philly so good right now is the coaching understands. You have other people to throw the fucking ball to. Play your
Yeah,
game,
exactly,
Jalen. Cook, Jalen. Let Jalen cook.
Right?
I mean, I was gonna say that about the Raiders. That one thing I noticed was I feel like Carr is trying to force it to Devontae a lot, and I think it's because he feels like he has to, because it's like, okay, we paid him all this money. He's our new shiny toy. Like, I got to make good use of him. When it's, kind of like you were saying with Stafford with Cup, he's just trying to get it to him because he knows, that's my top guy. But you gotta spread the love. Like you gotta throw to all your people. It doesn't matter who it is, and I do think that is a problem with the Raiders, is they're just trying to force it to Devontae way too much.
But they have it the last 2 games. In Arizona, he had 5 targets, 3 catches. In
17
Tennessee,
yards.
he had 6 targets, 3 catches. Like they're
12
not trying
yards.
to force it to him. He's trying to spread the ball out. The problem is Hunter Renfrow has 2 fumbles now. That's more fumbles than he's had in his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the way back to high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's never had 2 fumbles in a season.
Yeah.
Darren Waller got paid and doesn't want to catch the fucking ball anymore. Like legitimately. Like how are you the top paid tight end, honestly considered widely by every expert in the game, the top 3 tight end? Obviously Kelsey's number 1, but it's a given between him and Kittle. Like who's better between Darren Waller and George Kittle? George
Yeah.
Kittle's a better blocker. Abso-fucking-lutely. George Kittle could have blocked Joey Bosa where Darren Waller couldn't.
Mark Andrews.
But Mark Andrews, I would put fourth.
What?
But you put Mark Andrews with like Tom Brady, Mark Andrews number one.
I mean,
I think he's better than Kelsey.
I think the top three in the tight end position is probably going to be Kelsey and Andrews, just because of the stats he's put up so far this year. But and I'd put
my
Kittle
point
third.
is, you're paying him as the top.
Yeah,
he makes more money than all those guys,
and he's not playing like it.
And he's like giving up on routes. He's not even like coming back to a ball that, you know, if Derek Carr realizes, hey, if I throw it here, you're going to get smashed. So I'm going to throw it a little behind you so you turn around and come back. Like there's no cohesiveness there. Like Darren Waller just doesn't give a shit. He wanted to get paid. He got paid. And now he doesn't want to play. Like bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay,
so yeah, well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. We've all said a couple times, you know, it's only 3 weeks in, so it'll be interesting to see how it continues. With doing our typical top 5, bottom 5, I do like doing this because we usually have a lot of differences in the orders of how this goes, especially with the top 5. But I always like to start with the worst. So let's start with the bottom 5. So let's start with Chris. Let's start off with your bottom 5.
Worst team in the NFL right now?
Huh?
Worst team in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Gotta go by the record. I mean,
it's not even the record. It's the way they're playing. Like, hands down, the way they're playing. Coaching sucks. Josh McDaniels needs to go. We shouldn't have hired him in the first place. We hired him because he said it was a fumble. Yeah, bullshit, dude. That was in 2002. Shut the fuck up. You just said that to get a job. You're a terrible coach. Get the fuck out. Worst team in the NFL. Second worst, Texans. Texans haven't won a game. They've looked like garbage. The only time they actually look good, their defense actually looks somewhat decent against the Broncos for the first 3 quarters. Next, I'm going to put the Patriots. Patriots look like garbage. They look like a dumpster fire right now. And it's just not even fun. After that, probably the Washington Commanders, because they look absolutely terrible. They have this stout defense that's giving up. They've already given up 82 points. That's like third highest in the NFL. Like, they're giving up way too many points. And then finally, I think the worst team in the NFL, or not the worst, the 5th worst team in the NFL is probably the Seahawks. But it could be switched around with the Falcons. I think the Seahawks and the Falcons are really close between 5 and 6.
Fair enough. I think I'll go next, and then that way Larry can start with the top 5 after he does his bottom 5. So yeah, I have to agree. Number 5, the very worst is going to be the Raiders. Sorry.
Don't apologize. I agree.
Especially with the record right now. And then after them, the Texans, yeah, because they haven't won a game yet either. I thought they had won at least one because the Raiders were the only ones that were 0-3, but I forgot they tied. they tied.
Yeah, they're 0-2-1.
Yeah, 0-2-1. So yeah, the Texans are just a dumpster fire.
It's a loss.
Still a better record than the Raiders.
Yeah. After that, I would have to go probably with the Seahawks. Like I said, I told you all you guys at the beginning of the year that they were going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. And I mean, right as of right now, again, only 3 weeks in, but they're kind of proving that. Had to go with the Falcons. They look terrible as well. As 4th, and then probably 5th. Gosh, I don't know. The Cardinals have been looking just like garbage as well, especially without DeAndre, but I don't know if I want to go Cardinals or to go with the Commanders or the Jets. The Jets haven't been looking that good either. I think I would go with the Commanders more so. So I'd probably put them at 5. So so Larry can do his bottom 5 and then start with your top 5 after that, your best ones.
Yeah, I mean, we're all in agreement. The Raiders are the worst team in the NFL. It's just weird. The Texans, they just suck. Yeah, Cardinals, Seahawks, and Commanders are where I'm at on everything, and that's just because the Cardinals aren't doing anything. Kyler Murray should have retired when he wanted to. He's showing that he should have retired. They just don't look like they're moving the ball. Their number one target with DeAndre being suspended. The Commanders, they got that rookie, Johan Dotson. That dude, it might be something special for him. They're putting up points. They're doing okay. But yeah, that's about it. Seattle, Geno Smith is Geno Smith. So, yeah. But here's the shitty thing: is every game Seattle loses makes Denver look that much worse.
Just because of the trade.
No, because Denver lost to them.
Yeah, they beat Denver. So if they can lose every game from here on out, and it would make Denver look that horrible because the only win Seattle had was against Denver. They need to win at least one more game to make us not look as horrible. Honestly, but
I think they could beat the Cardinals.
There you go.
Who knows, dude? Division game.
And then top 5.
Top 5 is the Dolphins. They just look.
Well, is that 5th or 1?
You guys start at 5. You guys start at 5 and then go up to 1. Go up to the best team after that.
Well, just because I'm a Broncos fan, I'm definitely not going to put them there. I'd say the Ravens. The Ravens are going to be my number 5.
Okay.
I'm a Lamar fan. I liked him in Louisville. I think that I think he is so overrated, but he shouldn't be. There's too much hype around the guy. But I think he has shown that he is more than capable of being able to win games with his arm and with his feet. So he's my number 5. I'd probably put the Bills at number 4. They had a tough loss. I don't necessarily think that was Buffalo's fault. They should have won that game in the second half. Just bad play clock management, both into the second and into the fourth quarter. Should have done better. Isaiah McKenzie should have ran straight out of bounds, not diagonally out of bounds, and they might have had a second to get on to kick a field goal. But they're going to bounce back. I think that the Bills, they're also missing their 2 starting safeties as well, which I think is a game changer. Obviously, you have 2 all-pro safeties out there. But number 3, I'm going to put the Packers at my number 3 just because Aaron Rodgers is 2-1 without a good wide receiver. And they just had a hell of a game against the Bucs. And I know Tom Brady and the Bucs are going to bounce back, and I get that he didn't have any of his 2 wide receivers as well. But Rodgers is 2-1 without Devontae Adams, and he's doing it with Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb
and Allen Lazard was out
else
the first
is on
game.
that team that nobody knows. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, that it just makes him look that much better. My number 2 team, though, is the Eagles. The Eagles look like they are for real, and not because they're 3-0, but because they've just been dominating on every side of that ball. Philly is looking fantastic. I think they are the team to beat as of right now in the NFC. They could potentially 3 weeks in. I get it. Their NFC Championship game. I could see them going to the championship, not quite the Super Bowl, not until they get some tougher opponents in. But if they stay on the way that they are right now, they're going to be one of the nastiest teams in the league. And then same with Miami. Miami's my number 1, and a lot of it is because of what they did against the Ravens. 28-0 at halftime. And you come back and you beat them, what was it, 35-31, I think is what the final score was, 35-28. And Tua is out there balling out. He what was it last week? He leaves he left with a possible concussion, and he comes back and plays like this with concussion or not. If he had a concussion, he came out and beat you. Shit, that's a wrap. I mean, the Dolphins are finding ways to beat teams on every level of the ball. You're down 28-0 and you come back and destroy that Ravens team. They could have played a little bit more conservative, sure. Something lit a fire in their ass at halftime. They might have had some of Mike's secret stuff. I'm not sure what happened. But Miami, I think, is going to be the team to beat this. Miami and Buffalo in the AFC are that's going to be a fun matchup. It's going to be a really fun matchup to watch consistently.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Space Jam reference. That was nice. Let's go to Chris with his top 5.
So in 5th place, actually, that's going to be a little different. I think I'm going to put the Jaguars in 5th place. They've impressed me. Like, they have 2 first-round defensive players. They spent the money on offense, and it's paying dividends, dude. They have 84 points for and only 38 points against. Like, going through, let's see, the Bills and the 49ers and the Bucks are the only teams that have less points against. Their defense is a top 4 defense.
But Denver,
that's insane. Denver has so Denver. So they're a top 5 defense still. Denver has 36 points against, but only 43 points for. That's why I didn't look at that. But no, I'll put the Jaguars number 5. Number 4, the team it's surprising me is the Browns. I'm putting them there just because they shouldn't be there. Like, they have Jacoby Brissett, and he is balling out. Like, he is tearing it up this year. They don't have Jarvis Landry or OBJ. Nick Chubb is just running motherfuckers over. Like, he looks like Derrick Henry. It's insane how good they're looking right now. Number 3, I'm going to put the Rams. They did get blown out one game, but they've kind of come back and shown that they have a little bit of tenacity, and I think they'll step up. Number 2, I'm actually putting the Dolphins. Like, because of the Dolphins beating the Bills, I put the Bills out of my top 5. Like, that was an unexpected game. Josh Allen didn't play as well as he should have. And maybe the conversation we've had that Josh Allen isn't the guy to lead them, maybe that's right. Like, how are you going to lose to the Dolphins, man? You come into the league as the Super Bowl favorite, like the team that everybody is going to expect to win the Super Bowl. And you can't beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins have been a shitty team for so long. Like, they've really stepped up this year. They've spent the money, and it's showing that it's worthwhile. And the number 1 team, I'm putting the Eagles. They're scary. Like, their defense is solid. Their offense is solid. I think they lead the league in takeaways right now. Like, they're like you said, they're dominating all sides of the ball. Like, they're dominating in special teams. They're dominating everywhere. Like, you watch them play, and not one of those players has given up on a run. Like, they punt the ball. Every damn player on the Eagles is down there at the punter by the time he catches the ball, or at the punt returner by the time he catches the ball. They kick off a ball. Players are down there before the ball's even there. Like, their special teams is tearing it up. So, yeah, I think the Eagles are the scariest team. Now, keep in mind, this is week 3. A lot of shit can change in the next couple weeks. Like, the Raiders not being the worst team in the league. Maybe the Broncos are the worst team in the league at that point. Just kidding. It'd probably be the Texans. It's going to be the Texans. I think the worst 2 teams at the end of the year is going to be the Texans and the Seahawks.
Yeah, the Raiders will definitely be the worst team in the year. I get that.
No, they won't be there at the end of the year. I'm not saying they'll make the playoffs, but they're going to turn a corner here. And I think it starts with firing Josh McDaniels.
Well, yeah, like Larry said.
Hashtag. That's my new hashtag. Hashtag fire Josh McDaniels and hashtag fire Nathaniel Hackett.
No, it's hashtag
Hackett
can't hack it. Yeah.
Yep. McDaniels is a fucking joke.
Yeah, well, can't hashtag that, but
well, we can. Just effing joke.
All right, cool. Man, that was a crazy top 5. That's one of the craziest we've had in a while. I did not think a lot of those teams you were going to put in there. So way to keep us on our toes with that one. Number 5 for me is biased, but I'm putting the Rams at number 5. A lot of the ESPN and all the other like Fox Sports and all them, they have them at 5 as well. So I think it's kind of a good place to put them at, and I can put them there when all these other actual like reporter places, have them at 5 as well. So putting the Rams at 5. My top 2 are going to be easy, but like 4. At 4, I'm going to put the Chiefs. No one mentioned the Chiefs. They're still doing a lot, even without, not having Tyreek Hill. And
they lost to the Colts.
Yeah, but again,
that's why they're not in my top 5.
Exactly.
I blame the kicker though a lot on that. So, your sole job is to kick field goals, and you missed an extra point and 2 field goals. Like, no, I know he's the backup because the actual good kicker got injured, but still. But yeah, I would put them in as 4 because I still have high hopes for them. Just like the Rams, me putting them at 5. I mean, they got blown out by the Bills, but I still think that they have a lot of upside as well. And then that was 4. So 3, I would put the Bills solely just because they lost to the Dolphins. And then the Dolphins at 2. And then 1, obviously, the Eagles with how they've been dominating. They sacked Carson Wentz 9 times. 9 times. That's crazy. And I know they were playing the Washington Commanders, but still, it's still hard to do. Still playing against.
Didn't they pick him off twice too?
Yeah, I'm not sure with that. I know with the Vikings game, it was really funny. I don't know if you guys saw on Facebook, but there was a lot of NFL memes where it was, Impractical Jokers, where they have the headsets and they tell the other friend what to do, and they have to do it. So they did this NFL meme where it was the Impractical Jokers behind the scenes, and they had their microphones, and they said, "Hey, Kirk, throw it to Slay again," and then down below it shows Kirk Cousins throwing another interceptions to Darius Slay or whatever his name is.
Darius Slay.
Yeah, and then the next one is the Impractical Jokers behind the scenes, all laughing hysterically, so it was one of those things where I was just yeah, that's kind of how it went. It was just hey, Kirk Cousins, throw it to the other team again, and then just the interception. So the Eagles, yeah, they're kind of dominating right now, but maybe they'll pull Cardinals. The Cardinals last year, we had them in the top 5 almost all year, and they were killing teams at the beginning of the season, and then look what happened. So yeah, it's only 3 weeks in, but yeah, Eagles are number 1 right now.
DeAndre Hopkins got hurt. That's what happened to the Cardinals last season.
I still don't think that Kyler Murray has what it takes. So, but that's just me being biased, being a Rams fan though too. So, but
he's the Josh Allen of the NFC.
Basically, yeah.
Except Josh Allen's actually tall. Kyler Murray. If you watch Kyler Murray get under center, and it's Rodney Hudson is their center. Rodney Hudson's 6'9". Yeah. Kyler Murray's helmet is that far above Rodney Hudson's ass.
Oh shoot. All right, cool. Well, I always love doing our top 5, bottom 5. We'll continue doing that each week now. We're gonna get into our NFL picks of the week. Since we're not doing Anchor, I can actually pull up our official scores. So as of right now, for NFL picks of the week, I am at 28.5 and 22. Chris is at 24.5 and 25, and Larry is at 24.5 and 26. So I am currently in the lead. One nod to Larry. He was the only one to get his lock and upset last week because he picked the Titans and the Broncos. Titans was your lock and Broncos was your upset. Chris missed out on both of his, and I only got my upset, which was the Falcons. The Chargers were my lock, and then they got annihilated by the Jaguars. Like, just who in the heck knew that was going to happen? So
weird season. Wait, didn't I pick the Jaguars?
Yeah, you did, but you didn't have them as like a lock or an upset.
I know, but I picked the Jaguars. You said who knew that was going to happen?
All right,
Larry
cool.
froze
So
again.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's back in his original old pose from before. Oh, there we go. Now he's good. Oh no, now he's frozen again.
No, he's good.
And he just decided to like not move. He's like, dude, like that stupid like mannequin thing that players were doing for like touchdown celebrations, where they would all just be like, I don't know why that was the thing for a while, but anyways, so let's get into our picks of the week. NFL picks of the week. Picks.
Am I still frozen?
Picks. NFL picks of the week. No, you're good. All right, let me pull up the schedule here via.
Oh, he's got the picks of the week.
I had my screen minimized. Oh, he was doing the flashing light or whatever.
Yeah, for our picks of the week. It's called a flashlight, bud.
That's just funny.
Yeah, but he was doing the flashing of the light. Like he didn't just have it on. All right. So Thursday night football. Bum, 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 bum. We have the one thing, I guess. Do we want to start doing upsets now based on the records currently? Do we have enough games that we can do that? All right. So
do we want to do it now or wait till week 4?
We can do it.
Yeah. I think it's now, but like everybody's 2-1 or 1-2, except for the Raiders and the Texans and the Eagles and the Dolphins.
I think we should be
a lot of 1 and 2 teams.
Yes.
No, they're 1 and 2. Yeah.
All right. So Thursday night football matchup is the 3-0 Dolphins versus the 1-2 Bengals playing. It looks like in Cincinnati, from what I can tell. They're going to Cincinnati's going to have. Which I think is cool. I like stuff like that. They're going to have the white jerseys and the white helmet, which will be cool. So instead of having the orange helmet,
the white Bengals,
with the black. Yeah. So I think I actually like that look a lot. I think it's cool. Yeah, it looks cool. So since I am in the lead, I get to decide who goes first.
I
want to start with America.
Pull it together, figure something out, win this game, but the Dolphins just seem to have the hot hand. I'm taking Miami.
Going with the Dolphins. All right. Then I can actually update this on my phone while we're doing it in real time, instead of having to go back and like listen to the episode and and go through each one. So let's go with Chris next, and then I'll go next.
Bengals have never lost wearing the white uniforms. Just want to throw that out there. I think this is going to be an upset. I think the Bengals take it. I think it's going to be a hell of a close game. But I think the Bengals actually take it.
Upset alert! First pick, you always got to do locker upset, though.
Typically. Usually I'm good at it. If I don't pick it first, I don't get it.
It's just like it is tradition. Like it doesn't matter what two teams are playing. I was actually thinking the same thing, that this potentially could be like an upset. But the Bengals have just been looking just not like the Bengals of old. And, yeah, they got a win recently, but that was against the Jets. So I think I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this. I mean, I put them as the second best team, so I got to stick with it. So going to go with the Dolphins. All right, next match up is the 1-2 Washington Commanders versus the 2-1 Cowboys. So now it'll be Chris's go.
Cowboys.
If he still plays.
Going with Cowboys.
Cooper Rush looks good. Yeah, they have Dak Prescott as a game time decision, but I think it'd be a mistake for them to put Dak Prescott in this week. Give him one more week of rest. Cooper Rush is balling out. Let him do it.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be out like a lot longer.
Nope, his stitches are out. His swelling's gone down. He's looking good. So he can be out for 4 weeks.
Yes.
Before they reevaluate, but I think it would be a mistake to put him in this week.
Alrighty, I am going to go with Cowboys as well, just because the Commanders are one of my bottom teams.
Commanders. I'm going to take the Commanders in this game. I'm going to call the upset on this game.
And then he goes against us. Oh, he's going with the upset early as well. Upset alert!
No, I just think that
so angry.
It's a divisional game, and it's the Cowboys and the Commanders. And who knows? You just don't know. I don't know what's happening in the NFL. So how I would normally pick, I'm just going to say, fuck it. I'm going a whole other route here.
Fair enough. I like it. All right. Next game is the 1-2 Jets versus the 1-2 Steelers. So I get to start with this one. I'm going to go with the Steelers just because I don't have high hopes for the Jets just because they've already won one game. It took them like 12 weeks or 13 weeks to win one game last year, but just because they won one early doesn't mean that all of a sudden things have changed. So going with the Steelers.
When does Zach Wilson come back?
I'm checking something right now. I think it's this week.
Wilson is?
He's cleared to play on Sunday.
Yeah, Steelers.
Yep. Yeah, we all picked the Steelers last week and got let down.
Fair statement.
So,
Jets.
Dude, I don't think I can. Like, fuck, that's a hard pick because they both suck.
SUCKS sucks.
I'm gonna regret this, but I'm taking the Jets.
Mistake. All right. Next game is the 2-1 Bills versus the 2-1 Ravens. So now we're back to
it's going to be. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Hold, please. I just want to know if the safeties are coming back for the Bills.
The one safety, like I think it's like Micah Hyde or whatever,
The
he's
Bills
out
just
for like the whole
signed
season.
Xavier Rhodes.
Yep, season-ending neck injury. Yeah.
Whose defense is better?
The Ravens defense
Yeah,
has
that's
been
yeah,
allowing
but
so many freaking points. Are you kidding me?
shit,
The
I'm gonna
Bills
take the
defense is a
Bills.
lot better.
Their defense, their teams are the Bills are just so beat up right now that I just I don't know. I just don't know.
All right, Chris.
I think the Bills bounce back from that embarrassing loss to the Dolphins, and they show why they're Super Bowl favorites again. And they take on the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going with Bills as well, just because the Ravens defense has been
That was what I was trying to figure it out
non-existent.
too. Is
They have no one that can cover
who
Stephon
can
Diggs.
guard the Ravens?
Well, that's
deep
what I'm
ball?
saying. So I just think it'll.
I don't know, dude.
Like Marlon Humphrey's playing, but I don't think Marlon Humphrey's lost a step. Like he tore his ACL last year. There's no way he can cover Stephon Diggs. And then you've got who's the other? Marcus Peters, who's going to be covering Gabriel Davis, who also tore his ACL last year. Gabriel Davis is one of the fastest receivers in the league. Like, they're not going to be able to cover the receivers. It's just not going to happen. I think the Bills put up 40 on them.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to put up a lot. Next matchup is the 2-1 Vikings versus the 1-2 Saints. So,
I'm going to take the Saints.
Saints.
Just because of how embarrassing the Vikings were against the Lions.
Yeah,
and I think Chris Olave has a breakout game. He had a good game last week, but I think he has a breakout game this week.
All right, I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. The Saints, I had higher hopes for them this year, but like the two games that they have lost, like, I mean, they lost to the Panthers. Like, you can't be losing to the Panthers.
That's a division game, though, man.
I don't care. Like,
division games can go.
7
Dude,
games.
Tom Brady hadn't beat the Saints until this year.
Yeah. But Tom Brady is becoming like such an old man, get off my lawn type of thing. I've never seen him so angry so much on the sideline and in the huddle. Like, he's yelling at offensive linemen all the time. Like, he's like throwing stuff on the sideline. Like,
there's something else behind that.
It's like, why did you come back, dude? Like,
there's something else behind that.
You need to chill out. So
no, he's pissed off because he decided to come back, and it's causing him to go through a divorce.
Well, yeah, he should have picked his wife instead of coming back to football.
I would have picked Giselle. Jesus, she's hot.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. that's on him. He can be frustrated all he wants, but that's on him. Yep. I mean, I've never been a Tom Brady fan, anyways, but yeah. Anyway, still going with the Vikings. I still think they have a lot more firepower.
I don't know if Dalvin Cook plays, which sucks for one of my fantasy teams, but I have Alvin Kamara in my other fantasy, and he didn't have a good game.
I'm like going to Lone Island there with the Vikings. All right, next game, the 2-1 Browns versus the 1-2 Falcons. I get to go first. I'm going to go with the Browns just because the Falcons are one of the bottom teams in the NFL.
Oh, I also didn't realize that the Saints and Vikings is the first London game of the season.
So now it goes.
They played 7:30 a.m. Sunday. Damn, I'm going to have football all day. My wife's going to be pissed.
It is, yeah.
Take the Browns. The run game is what makes them.
Browns. All right, Chris. It is, yeah.
Lock that shit in.
Oh,
I heard it
he's
say the
gonna lock
Falcons.
it in with the
Matt,
Falcons.
are you reading
Locking
this?
it in.
You said the Falcons.
The Browns.
Yeah. See, we both heard the Falcons. We both heard
Excuse me.
Falcons.
I'm having bad reception right now. Technical
pound.
difficulties. No. Fucking Browns.
Oh shoot.
I put him in my top 5. Like,
Let's see. So Bengals was your upset, right? And then the Browns is your lock. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Next matchup: the 1-2 Seahawks versus the 1-2 Lions.
This is such a tough game
back to
because
Larry, I
Gino
think.
isn't playing terrible football, but neither is Jared Goff. Like, both teams are playing pretty decent football right now. And I think it's going to come down to who wants it more. Where are they playing? Are they playing in Seattle, do you know? Ooh, they're playing in D, huh? You know what? I'm going to take Detroit.
Detroit.
They're not going to win, but I'm going to take them. I like DeAndre Swift. And
Going with the
Brown,
Lions.
you know?
All right, Chris.
I think they do win.
Who you going
I
with,
think
Chris?
I think the Lions do
Think
win.
about the Seahawks defense.
They have too much firepower for the Seahawks to stop.
Yeah,
DeAndre Swift is going to go off for like 200 yards,
how do
dude.
you?
I was gonna say I can't believe I'm
Does
saying
anybody
this,
ever
but
pick
yeah,
the
I'm going with the
fucking
Lions.
Yeah,
I think
they don't look.
the Lions have been putting up some
They're
good numbers
playing
against good
good
teams.
football.
They shouldn't have lost the game against the Vikings.
Yeah, so
And had they won that game against the Vikings, the Lions would be the number 1 team in the NFC North.
True.
yeah, exactly.
How crazy is that? They haven't led the division like I think in 30 years.
Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, and again, I called it at the beginning of the season that Seahawks are going to be, if not the worst, one of the worst. They'll be like at least the second worst, if not the worst. So, and everyone was going against me saying nah, but we'll see. And then the next matchup is the 1-2 Titans versus the 1. Is it 1-1 for Colts? I think 1-1-1.
1-1-1.
Yeah.
Colts.
So playing in Indy, I think
that's me.
Pick first.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts. Sorry, just kidding. I'm gonna take the Titans. I think Derrick Henry got his feet under him finally. He didn't rush for 100 yards against the Raiders, but he came close. I think he's just gonna run over the Colts. And the Colts shouldn't have won the game that they won. They shouldn't have beat the Chiefs. And they know they shouldn't have beat the Chiefs. They pulled out a lucky one. I think the Titans take this game.
Yeah, I agree 100% that they got lucky, so I'm going with Titans as well.
Tennessee opens it as a 3.5 point underdog. Tennessee is
That
a
leaves
3.5
Laurie.
point underdog to the Colts. I am right now as we're talking. So
I'm gonna go put some money on that
happening.
shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Colts. Why not? Let's have some fun, guys. Let's get crazy. Let's get creative today. If they beat the Chiefs, they're feeling good. You know, the Titans, they beat the Raiders. That's nothing to feel great about. And it's nothing against the Raiders, but like the Titans are better than they're playing. And the fact that the Colts just beat the best team in the AFC for the last 3-4 years, they might, Matt Ryan might do something. So I'm gonna go ahead and that's what I'm gonna do. Yep, taking the Colts.
Nice. Next matchup is the 2-1 Bears versus the 2-1 New York Giants. I think it's my pick to start first, so I'm gonna go.
It's because you hate
with Giants because they looked good. They looked good against the Cowboys. What's up?
Yeah, we went over this a couple weeks ago. It was
that as well.
Fuck
Yeah.
Justin Fields.
You
bro.
hate Justin Fields?
Yeah, after you guys went on your rant
Justin Fields and
about
Trey
whoever
Lance.
it was that you didn't like, and then you gave me all the BS about me not liking Justin Fields
I remember now.
just because I said he could suck it, and then you guys were like, "Oh, whoa." But yeah, going with the Giants. Saquon Barkley looks like Saquon Barkley of old. It's nice to see. He's been tearing it up. I hope.
Yo, did you guys see on that run that he had, the one that he took off and ran for the touchdown? He peaked out at 21 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
With 2 torn ACLs, still being able to peak at 21 miles. Like, that's Tyreek Hill speed.
Yeah, it was nuts. And that whole play in general was just, it was nuts. It was good. So yeah, like I said, it's good to see him back at his old ways. We didn't know how he was going to be coming back. So fingers crossed he stays that way. I like seeing people when they're healthy and playing at their best. I hate when top tier elite people get injured is always the worst. So
It's just a tough
all right, so now it's Larry's turn. Bears.
Are they playing
Giants.
in New York?
Yeah.
Take the Bears. Yeah, I mean, I get they got Saquon.
And Sterling Shepard's out.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Fair enough.
The Bears got Roquan.
He really is, though.
Dude, Roquan's tearing shit up this year. Oh my God. So I played my brother-in-law in fantasy. He beat me by 2 fucking points. Going into the game, into the Dallas Giants game, he had a 3-point lead on me. And I had Micah Parsons.
So weird.
Micah Parsons got one tackle in that whole game.
I keep track of everybody that's in my division, and I know you lost.
Right? He's been averaging 10 points a game. Yeah. I lost by 2 fucking points because Micah Parsons didn't show up. Anyway, Sterling Shepard out for the season with the ACL tear, and he's the number 1 receiver on the Giants. That hurts. That was Daniel Jones's crutch, basically. It was the guy he went to all the time. It was his Band-Aid, safety net, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Daniel Jones has looked good. But I don't think the Giants have an answer for Roquan Smith. I don't think they're going to have any way to stop him. Like, they were able to stop Micah Parsons from getting tackles, but I don't think they're stopping Roquan Smith. So I'm going to take the Bears on this one.
Alrighty, sounds good. Next matchup is the 2-1 Jags versus the 3-0 Eagles. And then it's back to Larry, I think. Going with the Eagles. Going with the Eagles. And I am going to cha-ching lock in the Eagles for this one.
And that is our first consensus pick.
No, we've had a couple.
No, I don't. We haven't agreed on any of them, have we?
Let's see. All of us. All of us picked the Bills.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there hasn't been too many. I think we all picked the Browns. Yeah, we all picked the Browns. But yeah, there hasn't been too many. There's always been one loner picking something different. But yeah, I'm gonna lock in the Eagles for this one. I think I like like how they're looking. Next matchup is the 1-2 Chargers versus the 2-1 Texans. So now we're back to Chris.
Texans.
Oh my gosh. Taking the Texans. Oh my days.
The Chargers are playing like garbage. Like straight up dumpster fire. Like they are the best team in the league on paper.
I don't care. I'm still taking the Chargers. Like the Texans are one of the worst teams in the NFL. So this is not a gimme game. It's a what's it called? A confidence booster game for the Chargers. So I'm going with the Chargers.
I don't know why, but I'm going to. I mean, you just got shit on by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't know why. Hey, fair enough. Yeah,
and the Texans did put up a hell of a fight.
Ready, you know.
But the Texans put up a fight against the Broncos.
And so we'll see. Next matchup is the 1-2 Cardinals versus the 1-2 Panthers. Who are we at now? Is it me? Oh gosh, this one is really like a toss up. I feel like. Neither team is looking good. I'll go with the Panthers just because the Cardinals are in my division. So now we're over to Larry. Carolina.
Tough one. Because they both just don't look good. I know, and I don't.
That's
take the Cardinals.
That's what I just said, Larry.
James Conner to do something great. So I'm going to just hope that the Cardinals go off. James Conner has a couple tutties, and so does Hollywood Brown.
All right, Chris.
Panthers.
Panthers.
I think Christian McCaffrey finally has a big game. I need him to. I've got him in fantasy in a couple leagues. So.
All right. Next matchup is the 1-2 Patriots versus the 2-1 Packers.
Packers.
No Mac Jones, so let's go with Larry.
That should be an easy one, guys.
Packers.
Let's go with the Patriots. Let's just really fuck tonight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that guy off this league. He's taking the pass over the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, no Mac Jones, definitely taking the Packers for sure. So clean sweep, we all take the Packers. Next matchup is the 2-1 Broncos versus the 0-3 Raiders. And I think it's Chris's turn.
I think this is a must-win game for the Raiders.
Going with the Raiders.
I didn't say that.
No.
I said it's a must. I said it's a must-win game for the Raiders.
Going with the Broncos.
Because you need to.
This one's hard.
It's
actually really hard because I want to go. Yeah, it makes it difficult because as a fan, I want the Raiders to win. The Raiders have the ability to win this game. They have the weaponry to win this game. But do they have the coaching to win this game? It's going to be a matchup to decide who really is the worst coach in the AFC West.
Oh, you mean head coach. That's my bad.
That Eric, the enemy. Yeah, head coach. But I'm going to regret it because I'm going to go for the Raiders, and I'm afraid that they're going to do the same shit they've done the first 3 weeks, and that's just go conservative in the second half and give up the game.
All right, going
But-
Raiders officially. I am gonna go with the Raiders in my upset alert.
Does that mean I can't lock this in?
Upset.
So I'm about to lock in the Broncos, so it's fine.
You can.
Raiders.
Go ahead and
You just can't take the
lock in
upset on the
Denver.
same game.
You want to take the Broncos in a lock?
I also got $5.
Oh, he's gonna lock it.
Denver
Cha-ching!
wins.
Locking it in.
You have Venmo? Cool.
We're on $5. I do.
You have Venmo. Oh,
No,
my
I also-
days.
See, you
just
asking
downloaded
me
Venmo
if I
about a
have
week
Venmo
ago,
shows
so
that
I
you
don't know
don't
how
have
popular it
confidence
is.
in winning the game.
I also
I
found
didn't
out I have
ask.
this thing called Apple Pay. I found that out after I beat my buddy.
Oh, my
He's a
gosh.
Niner fan. I put $5 on that one too, and all of a sudden my
So
phone
do I.
says, "You got Apple Pay $5." I said, "What the fuck does that mean?" I thought I was being scammed. So that was cool. Technology, am I right? I don't know what they're doing over there.
Oh, my gosh.
Scammed for $5, right?
All right, last two games, and I think these should be good. The Sunday night football game is the 2-1 Chiefs versus the 2-1 Buccaneers.
They're playing in Virginia, right?
This is supposed to be in Tampa, but it's probably not going to be in Tampa.
The Hurricane.
I think so.
Why?
The
During
Hurricane,
the game.
Hurricane Ian. Like it's
So-
expected to make landfall like Thursday or Friday. Yeah, and it's big. It's like Hurricane Katrina size. It's
God.
big.
Oh, well.
Like they've already
They haven't
evacuated
actually
Tampa
put
Bay.
where they're going to be playing, so
Well, there you go. So, well, so we'll have to see then. But yeah,
But
that'll
it
be
will not be.
So that'll be the Sunday night game. So, yeah, 2-1 Chiefs, 2-1 Bucks. Who just went? I think Chris went first.
It's your
so I guess
turn.
it's me. Well, I don't like Tom Brady, and I do like my wife, and I like when she's nice to me. So to make sure I don't get in the doghouse, I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one.
it's just tough. Godwin's probably not playing. They might so far. It could be in Minnesota, could be in New Orleans. They're even talking about playing in New England. So who the hell knows what's happening? I don't know, man. Just don't take the Bucks, I guess. If this Godwin's questionable, Mike Evans comes back.
The Bucks.
The Chiefs struggled against Indianapolis. The Bucks also struggled against Green Bay. So like it's hard to say it's a bounce back game because both teams it's a bounce back game for them. It's going to end in a tie.
Yeah. It's gonna end in a tie. I will give you
That'd be
4
pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be
free
wild.
like pick points, like 4 free like points.
Oh,
if it
hey, look,
ends in
you're
a
in first
tie.
place, all because they tied. Yeah, I think the Bucks take it though. Not by much.
Okay. Alrighty. Now we're
Looking
down
at
to
something really quick.
no, not quick enough.
Hot shingles in your area, huh?
Well, it fucking popped up a stupid advertisement. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Head to head. It's not what I'm looking for. Played each other 5 times. And they're 3-2. Brady up. I think the Bucks defense hasn't shown me shit this year. Like they played good against Aaron Rodgers when he had no receivers. But get a team with receivers, and they don't look good. You know, they don't have a great defense like they've had the last couple years. But I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs on this one. I think Patrick Mahomes ties up the record with Brady, and they're 3-3.
Alrighty, awesome. So the last and final game, the Monday Night Football game, is going to be the 2-1 Rams versus the 1-2 49ers on Monday Night Football. And
Just looking to
we
see who
end
they're
with
playing.
Lowry. They're playing in San Francisco.
Santa
You
Clara.
mean San Jose or whatever?
So this is a
Santa
big game
Clara.
for both teams.
Santa Clara.
And
Yeah, it's not San Francisco.
I think the Rams pull it off. I really do. I think the Niners are Jimmy G's trying to figure out who he is again. And I think the Rams pull this off.
Alrighty, sounds good, Chris.
I think Jimmy G gets injured in this game when he takes a hit from Aaron Donald on Aaron Donald's second sack.
Gosh.
And Jimmy G goes out for the season. So then the 49ers definitely lose the rest of the season. So Rams win.
Dang, going with the Rams. So, and of course, I'm going to go with
I'm-
my Rams. Hopefully, the regular season curse can be broken of them beating us 7 times in a row. They've always had our number for some odd reason. I don't know what it is. And even the last game of the season last year, we were up by like freaking 20-10 or 20-3 or whatever it was, and they came back and beat us in overtime. So hopefully we can break the curse. Hopefully we can get some momentum. But I'm always going to go with my Rams. So sticking with the Rams. Alrighty. Awesome. So those are the picks of the week. I want to make sure. Yeah, because Larry, I was trying to think of what Larry's upset was, but it was the Commanders. So
Screw Dallas.
he's like, yeah. Alrighty, awesome.
I agree, but I don't think the Commanders can beat Dallas.
Yeah, this is true. So awesome. Well, that wraps up our episode for this time. Next week we'll continue doing our top 5, bottom 5. We'll have our picks as always. We'll go over some of the other games. We kind of had some games to like catch up on since we had missed a couple weeks of the podcast. If you're watching this, which you have to, we don't have audio, so you only get to see our lovely faces this time. You don't get to choose whether you don't want to see us or not. You have to. We're forcing it down your throat. You're trying to look at us. So catch us on YouTube, like, subscribe, share. We'll hopefully have the audio version up and running next week for that. It looks like we're going to change up our hashtags because Aaron Judge already got the 60 home runs. So we spoke that into existence. So you're welcome, Aaron Judge, for us promoting you to hit those 60 home runs. And a lot of baseball stuff. A lot of teams are clinching right now, so we'll be able to start talking about playoffs and wild card pushes and stuff like that as well, which will be good because October, once you get into October, that's playoff baseball. So we're going to start getting into that, which will be good. We'll break down some of that. So we'll have to squeeze our NFL stuff into a little bit smaller area, throw in some baseball and get that going. But we'll still continue. We're always going to do our hashtag Earl Thomas still not signed. Or are we doing free Earl Thomas? I guess is what we were doing. Free Earl Thomas because he was
Hashtag Florida Gators 30 for 30.
Yeah, 30 for 30 Florida Gators. Hackett
and hashtag Fire McDaniels.
Fire McDaniels. So we got some new hashtags going on. So join in the fun with that. As always, if you like. Or not like, but I mean, we want you to like it. But if you comment on anything that we post on YouTube or Facebook or any of our pages, we'll give you a shout out and we'll talk about it. If there's a certain topic you want to talk about, just post it and say it, and we'll bring it up. We'll do it. Hopefully we'll get some guests in here from other podcasts as well. I know we're still trying to get that going. So hopefully we'll get some other people in here, get some other opinions, some other views. But yeah, until next time, we'll catch you guys on the flip side then.
Later.
Peace. No.